Okay, so get this. Today, we're diving into AI-generated video games.
Oh, wow.
And not just any AI, we're talking Google's Genie 2.
Really fascinating stuff.
Like, imagine just typing in, I don't know, cyberpunk city with flying cars,
Oh, wow.
and boom, instantly you have a playable 3D game world.
Yeah, that's the kind of thing that Genie 2 can do. It's pretty mind-blowing.
It is. And what I think is so cool about Genie 2 is that it's not just creating, like, pretty pictures.
Right, exactly.
It's generating a whole dynamic, interactive experience.
Yeah, and the source material is packed with examples.
Oh, yeah.
Showing just how it simulates real physics.
Okay.
Creates believable character animations like right on the fly.
Wow.
And it can even generate those non-player characters.
Yeah, the NPCs.
The NPCs, exactly, that make a game world feel alive.
So much life to it.
Yeah.
So, okay, let's unpack this a bit.
Right.
Genie 2 is building on its predecessor, Genie 1,
Right.
which focused on 2D worlds, but now we're talking full-on 3D environments.
That's a huge leap.
Big time. So think about what you could do with that.
Oh, but the possibilities are endless. So the source mentions a humanoid robot exploring a forest,
Okay.
another robot in ancient Egypt,
Oh, cool.
and even, get this, a first-person view from a robot
Okay.
on a purple planet.
Whoa, hold on. This
Yeah.
isn't just like static images.
No.
These are worlds you can actually, like, move around in.
Yeah. Dynamic world where you control characters
Oh, yeah.
and you just use familiar keyboard inputs, just like any other video game.
So it takes those image prompts and turns them into something you can actually play.
Exactly, yeah.
But how does it know what to do with those keyboard commands? Like, how does it know to move the character and not, I don't know, the background?
That's a great question, and that's where Genie 2's intelligence really comes in.
Okay.
It seems to just have this understanding of game mechanics.
Oh, wow.
When you hit those arrow keys, it knows you want to move the character,
Okay.
not the trees, not the clouds in the background, Yeah.
It understands.
They tell the difference.
Yeah, it can tell what's what in the scene.
That's remarkable.
It is. It is.
But here's where it gets really interesting for me.
Okay.
This idea of counterfactuals,
Oh, yeah.
which sounds super complex.
Right.
But the source makes it clear that it just means
Yeah.
that even if multiple players start with the same image prompt, their experiences in that AI-generated world could be totally different.
Yeah. Different choices lead to different outcomes.
Yeah.
It's not a static world.
Right.
Genie 2 is generating a dynamic system
Okay.
where your actions have consequences,
Yeah.
This is a really big step forward in AI-generated games.
So it's not just a pretty picture. You're actually shaping the experience.
Absolutely.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
But one thing that always bugged me about AI-generated environments
Mm-hmm.
was the lack of consistency. Like, you look away from the screen for a second and look back, the whole world has changed.
Yeah.
It just totally breaks the immersion. It really does. And that's what you're talking about, is that lack of long-term memory,
Okay.
which has been a real challenge in this field.
Right.
In fact, the source compares it to AI-generated Minecraft,
Right.
where the environment is constantly shifting.
Right.
It's like you can't explore, you can't build anything meaningful.
Yeah.
Because everything keeps changing around you.
Yeah, exactly. It's so frustrating.
Yeah. But Genie 2 tackles this problem head on.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So how does it solve it?
Well, objects and environments in Genie 2,
Mm.
they stay consistent for up to a minute.
Okay.
Now, that might not sound like a lot,
Yeah.
but it's a huge breakthrough.
Okay.
It allows for a much deeper level of interaction
I see.
and a stronger sense of presence within the game world.
That's a game changer.
It is.
And it's not just about the world itself.
Yeah.
The source has all these examples of Genie 2 generating believable content on the fly.
Oh, yeah.
Like character animations that don't look clunky or robotic, they look surprisingly natural.
One example that stood out to me
Yeah.
shows a character casting spells and exploring the environment for a whole minute.
Wow.
There's another one that shows a character interacting with this pink fluffy creature.
Wait, really?
Yeah.
A pink fluffy creature?
Yeah. But unfortunately, it doesn't end well for the fluffy friend.
Oh, no. But it's just so whimsical, this idea of a pink fluffy creature popping up in an AI-generated world,
Right.
and then things getting a little rough.
Yeah.
It's not just about, like, replicating reality. There's this unexpected creativity that emerges from the AI.
Absolutely. That's what makes this tech so exciting.
Yeah.
It's not just about recreating what we know.
Right.
It's about opening up all these new possibilities for interactive experiences.
And it's not just the visuals.
No.
We're talking realistic physics.
Oh, absolutely.
Like, these worlds don't just look real, they feel real, too.
Yeah. The source mentions a boat realistically drifting on water.
Okay.
Smoke simulations creating cool atmospheric effects. And even a car plummeting off a cliff because of gravity.
It's crazy.
It's amazing how much detail Genie 2 can generate.
Wait, there's more? They even talk about functioning lighting and reflections, like working in mirrors and puddles.
It's unbelievable.
That's a level of detail that's insane, especially when you consider this whole world was created by AI.
It really highlights the potential of this technology.
Oh, yeah.
To change what's possible in gaming.
Speaking of possibilities, imagine being a game developer and being able to test out ideas almost instantly.
Right.
That's exactly what Genie 2 allows for, rapid prototyping.
Yeah, the source describes how you could use AI-generated images as prompts to create these playable prototypes really quickly.
Wow.
Like they gave the examples of a dragon, a plane, and an eagle.
So cool.
Imagine being able to try out game concepts before committing to full development.
It's like having this virtual sandbox where you can play around with different ideas.
Exactly. It could really speed up the development process.
For sure.
And make it much more iterative.
And that's not even everything Genie 2 can do. There's this thing called out-of-distribution generalization.
Oh, yeah.
I know it sounds complicated, but basically it means the AI can handle tasks it wasn't specifically trained for.
It's like teaching someone to ride a bike.
Okay.
And then they can just figure out how to ride a scooter with no extra training.
Oh, I see, I see.
The source gives the example of using concept art to generate a playable world.
Okay.
So it's not limited to photorealistic environments.
Oh, interesting.
It can work with all sorts of styles.
That's incredible, but with all this complexity,
Yeah.
how do they even test something like Genie 2?
That's where AI agents come in.
Okay.
So those are essentially AI players that researchers can use to explore Genie 2's capabilities.
Oh, okay.
And see how it responds to different actions.
And I bet there are some funny stories that have come out of those tests.
Oh, for sure. The source mentions an AI agent that chose parkour over snowboarding.
Of course it did.
I guess even AI has its preferences.
It really does.
And there was another one where a random ghost just showed up in a garden out of nowhere.
A ghost? What?
Yeah.
So not only is this technology groundbreaking, but it's generating some pretty entertaining stories.
Absolutely. It really underscores the revolutionary potential of Genie 2.
Yeah.
And AI models like it.
It feels like we're on the verge of a huge shift in the gaming landscape.
I think so, too.
It's really exciting.
Absolutely.
This is really blowing my mind.
I know, right?
Like, we've talked about the physics and the animations and even AI agents playing these games.
Yeah.
But one thing the source keeps coming back to is this idea that Genie 2 is really about empowering creativity.
Yeah, and what's so fascinating is that it's not just about giving these big game studios another tool, you know?
Right.
Genie 2 could totally change who gets to make games.
Okay, yeah.
Like imagine anyone with an idea and a single image could make a playable game.
Wow.
That's powerful.
Yeah, it really is. It's like putting this power of a whole development team into the hands of anyone who's got an idea.
Exactly. And that's where the magic is.
Yeah.
You know, it's not just about making the same kinds of games we're used to.
Right.
It's about all these new possibilities for interactive experiences that we haven't even thought of.
So it's not just about games, right?
No, not at all.
The source mentioned applications beyond like traditional gaming.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
We're talking immersive educational experiences, virtual tours of historical sites, maybe even training simulations for all sorts of jobs.
Oh, absolutely. Think about it. What if you could step right into a history book?
Right.
Experience ancient Rome like you were there.
Oh, man.
Or learn a new skill in a virtual world that feels totally real.
That's amazing.
It could change how we learn, how we experience the world, how we interact with information.
It's almost like too much to think about.
It is. And that's why it's so important to talk about the impact of this AI-generated content.
Right.
We need to think about the good stuff and the challenges that come with this powerful tech.
Absolutely. Like, it feels like we're at this turning point where we can actually, you know, shape how this technology evolves, make sure it's used in a way that's good for everyone.
Absolutely. It's not just about the tech itself.
Right.
It's about the human stories we can tell with it.
Yeah.
The experiences we can create. And speaking of stories, the source talked about how Genie 2 could be used to make storytelling in games better
Okay.
Like, it can generate different camera angles, just like a film director.
Oh, wow.
So, the classic third-person view in a driving game,
Yeah.
or that isometric view you see in exploration games.
Right.
Having control of the camera, how you frame the action,
Yeah.
lets creators really shape the experience and what the player feels.
It's like directing an interactive movie.
Exactly, yeah.
Where the viewer is also like playing along.
Yeah. And with Genie 2 making things look real,
Yeah.
keeping things consistent, those movies could feel so lifelike.
Totally.
And there are some cool examples in the source, like characters opening doors and going into new places. It transitions between scenes so smoothly.
That's wild. It's like watching a virtual world be born.
I know, right?
In real time.
And all those details matter.
Yeah.
Like, the source talks about how Genie 2 can make these really complex animations.
Oh, cool.
Like a robot climbing up a ladder, or a character picking up objects and using them. Those little things make the virtual world believable.
They make such a difference.
They do.
And let's not forget about the NPCs.
Oh yeah, those guys.
The source mentions Genie 2 generating other agents within the world.
Right.
So you can have these unexpected interactions.
Yeah. It could be surprising or funny.
I know. Remember that example with the ghost in the garden?
Yeah. Ha. It's like the AI has a sense of humor.
I know, right?
Throwing in these little curveballs.
Or maybe it's a glitch in the Matrix.
Yeah.
But it's just so fascinating to see this tech blurring the lines between what's programmed and what emerges on its own.
Yeah, it's a good reminder that even with all our fancy AI, there's still that element of unpredictability.
Right.
And that's what's so exciting.
Yeah, totally.
Like, we're in uncharted territory here.
I know, right?
Always discovering new things.
And who knows what's next?
I know, right?
This technology's changing so fast.
It really is.
What seems like science fiction today could be real tomorrow.
It's an amazing time to be following all this, especially in entertainment.
Speaking of, I think it's time to zoom out a bit.
Okay.
We've talked about all the cool stuff, the creative potential, but we haven't really discussed the big implications.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Like, every powerful technology comes with responsibility, right?
Absolutely.
We have to think about how it could be used and, any downsides.
Right, we got to think about ownership and control. Like, who owns the stuff created by AI?
Yeah.
Is it the person who made the AI model? The person who gives it the prompt? Or someone else?
Right. And what about the potential for misuse?
Yeah.
Could someone use this to make misleading or harmful content?
Those are all good questions, and we need to be having these conversations.
Absolutely.
We need to balance the excitement with a thoughtful look at the risks. Make sure it's used ethically.
What about the impact on people who make these games?
Oh, yeah.
Will this technology, replace jobs in the industry?
That's a tough one.
Yeah.
It's a complicated question.
Right.
But we definitely need to talk about it now.
Absolutely.
We need to be ahead of these challenges and make sure this technology benefits everyone.
It does feel like we're only just starting to understand what's possible with AI-generated content.
Absolutely. So much potential, good and bad.
It's a journey with so many possibilities, both exciting and a little scary.
I agree. It really is.
And it's up to us to figure out how to navigate it all with curiosity, with responsibility, and a willingness to learn and change along the way.
Well said.
I think this is a good point to turn it over to you, the listener.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on all this?
Yeah. What stands out to you about the potential of AI-generated games?
Yeah.
And, the big implications of this tech.
We'd love to hear your perspective. I know it's a lot to process.
It really is.
And it makes you wonder what's next for video games,
Oh, yeah.
We've been talking about Genie 2 and how it can make these complex 3D worlds,
Yeah.
characters, game mechanics, all from one image. It's crazy.
It's like something out of a movie.
I know, right?
What's amazing to me is how quickly it's all changing.
Yeah.
We went from these simple AI-generated environments to something as complex as Genie 2 so fast.
I know.
And it makes you think, where do we go from here?
What is next, right?
Yeah.
We've talked about the impact on game developers, the creative possibilities, even the ethical side of things.
Right.
But we haven't really touched on how Genie 2 can learn and evolve.
Oh, yeah.
Like, the source material kept saying this isn't just some static software.
Yeah.
It's always learning from the data it sees.
That's a big deal. And it's a key difference between Genie 2 and those old game engines,
Yeah.
Think of it like this.
Okay.
The more people use it, the more data it gets, the smarter it becomes.
Okay.
It's like a game engine that improves itself.
Wow.
Always getting better, expanding what it can create.
So as more people use Genie 2, give it new ideas,
Yeah.
it actually gets better at making these unique game worlds.
Exactly. It's a wild concept.
It is.
And it's causing a lot of debate in the gaming world and beyond.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah. Some people think AI will eventually take over game development.
Whoa.
Like it'll be able to make games better than any human could.
It's like that classic humans versus machines thing.
Right. But now it's happening in video games.
It's kind of freaky, but also really cool.
I know it's a debate that'll probably go on forever.
Probably.
But one thing's for sure. The line between human-made and AI-made is getting blurry.
Yeah, you're right.
And that might not be a bad thing.
Okay.
It could lead to humans and AI working together
Oh, interesting.
to make something truly amazing.
So instead of fighting, it's more like we team up.
Yeah, exactly. We use the strengths of both.
I like that.
Humans have imagination, emotion, storytelling.
Yeah.
AI can process tons of data, make complex simulations,
Uh-huh.
explore creative ideas we might not even think of.
It's a powerful combo that could change gaming and entertainment forever.
I think so too. It's an exciting time to be a part of this.
It really is, and it's not just about the tech.
No,
It's about pushing the limits of what humans can create.
finding new ways to express ourselves.
We've covered a lot in this deep dive.
We have.
From the tech behind Genie 2 to the big implications of AI-generated content.
And it feels like we're just scratching the surface.
I know, right?
It's been great talking about all this with you.
Likewise.
I hope our listeners have enjoyed it too.
Before we go, we want to leave you with something to think about.
Okay.
If you had the power of Genie 2, what kind of world would you make?
What story would you tell?
What experiences would you bring to life?
Let your imagination go wild. The future of entertainment is here.
And it's powered by human creativity and the incredible things AI can do.
So embrace the possibilities, stay curious, and keep exploring.
That's a great note to end on. Until next time, keep diving deep into the world of knowledge and discovery.